Hello everyone. I forgot what day this is, of how many days I had no internet. I'll stop mentioning this now because now I can just record and there's no distraction. My memories are looking pretty good. So welcome back to Our Life, Beginning and Always. And let's just jump into this since, yeah, this is where we left off, and I believe I said something about getting these after some time. Yeah, I want to get a job now. Um, I already did two, so what I'm feeling right now is birthday and family, and there's not in any particular order. Sorry about my voice. It'll be sounding like this for a while. So let's go to family. The sun warms your skin from its place in the sky, and you close your eyes, enjoying a mix of the heat with the pleasant breeze that drifts past you. You and Lee have spread out a blanket on top of one of the hills behind your house, and you have been relaxing there for a while now. Lee is our cousin. Lee had come over earlier in the day, and while a range of activities had been discussed, from staying home to heading down to the beach, a picnic on the hill and been the choice you oh, had been the choice you both settled on. A small spread was laid out in front of you, some bottled water, soft drinks, as well as chips and sliced fruit. You sat up and reached for a snack, listening to Lee talk away about the musical she had gotten to see a few days ago. It was unbelievable. There were singing, dancing, and crazy stunts, and it was all done live right in front of my face. Maybe one day we could go together. I've gotta see more shows like that. You smiled at Lee's enthusiasm, knowing how much she enjoyed singing and performing, and she was good at it too. You had gotten the chance to hear her sing a couple of tunes, and you knew she put a lot of effort into it. I don't know if my fan is picking up the noise, so I'm just going to. Well, of course it's picking it up. Of course it's picking it up. So I'm gonna turn them off. Alright, choices, no option. You also like to sing, but you weren't really good. You also liked to sing and had talent of your own. You didn't like to sing, but you had been told you were good at it. You were good at singing, and that suited you fine. No, you weren't good at singing, and that suited you fine. Not to brag, because at this point I can't sing. I just choose to sing on my own time, and when I feel it. So, I'm gonna say you also like to sing and had talent of your own. It was nice the two of you could share that interest. I wonder if maybe we could put on our own show. Think of how fun it'd be. We could perform for our parents and ask our friends and some other people to come and watch too. It 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 would totally work. Option: yes, let's do it. I don't know what that. The idea gave you stage fright. Don't see how. Oh, I don't know about that. Sure, I'll give it a go. Not That's not a good idea. It'll be embarrassing. I'll say sure, I'll give it a go. It wouldn't. Oh, it wasn't something you had really thought about before, but if Lee wanted to do it, then you could at least give it a shot. Lee clapped in excitement and bounced on the balls of her feet, beyond happy that you were on board with her idea. I'm gonna sing. Do you want to? Yeah, English. Do you want? Do you want to, or maybe do something else? Options: I'll sing too. I'll dance. I'll write the song. I'll do some kind of stunt that goes to the music. I'll pick the outfits. I'll do the makeup. I'll make a backdrop or some kind of stage, or some kind of stage. Um, these are a no go. I can do that. Never done that before. Don't know about that. So for this one, I'm just gonna choose something that usually wouldn't have done to see how it goes, and I'm gonna choose a stunt. Oh, a daredevil. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Is there anything else that's coming to your head? Options. No, that's all. One more thing. Let's see what the one more thing is. Well, pretty much everything here. So let's just say you'll sing too. Cool. We'll perform an incredible duet. Is there anything else that's coming to your head? Nope. That's all. The two of you ran back to your house to grab the supplies you needed, dodging your mom's amused questions before heading back to the blanket to get started. You laid down on the blanket together, your MP3 player in hand, and the two of you swiped through the songs to choose one you both liked. Lee and you discussed the plans in detail, settling on a song first and then practicing out parts for the show. Wow, this afternoon. The afternoon passed quickly. The sun dropping lower and lower in the sky, and after having worked out how the show was going to go, you decided to take a break.
Oh.
You know, we should have invited Cole to watch us practice our show. He could tell if it's bad before we put on the real thing. Options. That's smart. You guess that would have been okay. I'm glad he didn't see. You said nothing. I'm gonna say that. I guess that would have been okay. Would have. It might have been nice for Cole to be there, but you felt weird when thinking about him watching the show. We could ask him to watch us another time. Maybe. It's too bad Derek isn't in the neighborhood today. I like him. Option. Yeah, he is a good person. I really like him too. He's okay. He's kind of boring. I don't really like him. We're not excited about seeing him. He's cool and all, but he's like a cool friend. Yeah, he's a good person. I don't know. He's okay. Gives it the duh or not much thought to put into it. So we're gonna say he's a good person. I knew you think so. So exactly how much do you like him? Or maybe there's someone else that I haven't heard of yet. Lee wriggled her eyebrows at you suggestively, and you knew exactly what she was implying. Option. Lee, there's nobody I like that right now. I can't answer that. I have a crush, yeah. I mean, if we're gonna be honest with our cousin, she's gonna know. So we're gonna say, yeah, we have a crush. Lee's eyes sparkled in an instant. She just hit the jackpot. Who is it? Option. I'm not giving you a name. Someone from school. It's Derek, Mr. Holden, Kyra. Who's Kyra again? Or is she... You know, I'm just gonna say I don't know her. I'm just gonna keep her on the loop. I'm not gonna say the name. Tell me something else about him then. This answer was just too exciting. She wasn't going to be deterred. You weren't surprised when Lee started squeezing you for more details, and you answered as much as you could. As much as you were comfortable with. The two of you talked about your preferences and who you like and stuff. You found that it was nice having someone to speak with about these sort of things. Finally, you both decided to pack everything up and head back home for the evening. Lee talked excitedly about the show as you did, and you thought back on what you had already accomplished for it. You could definitely do with a little more practice, but what you had so far was a solid foundation for the performance. Oh, what happened? What did I do? Upon walking through the front door, you were met by your moms and Elizabeth hovering around each other in the living room. Tension hung thick in the air as the three of them turned to you and Lee, frowning slightly. You had interrupted something. Exactly what you weren't sure. Oh, exactly what? You weren't sure. Exactly you weren't sure. Had to reiterate. Options. Who? Oh wow, who died? What's going on? You looked between them but said nothing. Hello? I'm gonna say, what's going on? Because apparently it looks so serious, even the sister is frowning. Your moms looked at each other, wondering which of them was going to speak first. Eventually, Mom cleared her throat and spoke. We're just having a talk with your sister. The room fell quiet. Oh gosh, my English. The room fell quiet again with no one quite knowing what to say. You felt incredibly awkward, but the silence didn't last long. You don't have to stop just cause those two are here. There's no reason to try keeping it a secret. Elizabeth was mad, with her arms folded defensively over her chest, but your mom nodded in agreement with her. Elizabeth was asking about her parents. Oh, they were adopted. Her biological ones. The world spun around you at the news. You couldn't understand what was this happening. English. You couldn't understand why. Why was this happening now? When you glanced at Lee, she shuffled her feet uncomfortably as though she didn't know if she could be there or not anymore. You didn't know that either. Your mom had always been open and honest about the fact that neither of them had given birth to you or your sister, but the details hadn't been fully explained before. It made sense that Elizabeth didn't know a lot about her biological parents and wanted to know more. You just hadn't ever thought you accidentally stumbled into it. Elizabeth looked at your parents expectantly. She wasn't going to let the unintentional interruption derail things. We don't want to keep that information from either of you. It's your right to know your past, but we did want to wait until you asked us to hear yourselves. But we did want to wait until you asked us to hear yourself. For yourself? Ask us for yourself? Well, it's happening now, so... Your mom shared a nervous glance, and Ma took a quick breath before speaking again. I adopted you from the Philippines when you were just a baby. Oh, she's from the Philippines? Elizabeth dropped her arms and her eyebrows shooting forward in surprise. Wait, I wasn't born here? Nope. You weren't. You could clearly see that your sister was appalled by this information. You struggle even more with what to do or how to react. Am I gonna have to pass some tests to even be a citizen?
No.
You were adopted in the country. We took care of things. You're already a citizen. You have nothing to worry about. I followed all the laws when it came to bringing a child into the U.S. Nothing can be held against you. Elizabeth sighed, placated with the information, but still far from happy. Who were my parents as people? Why did they put me up for adoption in the first place? Mom softly put her hand over Elizabeth's shoulder, trying to provide some support before she gave her the answer.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Your parents were reported to have died. They didn't go into details on the specifics of how, but you were an orphan. I wish we had better news for you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth was torn between emotions, her eyes filled with tears as she threw her hands in the air, settling on in rage. Great, so I can never meet them, even if I wanted to. Not that I could have anyway, since they live in another part of the world when they were still alive. Elizabeth turned her back on you and your mom and stormed off, sprinting up the stairs and to her room before anyone could stop her. I had to go and talk to her. Ma immediately started to follow her, but Mom gently held her by the arm and shook her head. We should give her a little space to process it all. Her mom's head hung low, but she stopped walking. With Elizabeth now gone, the two of them seemed to remember you and Lee were still standing awkwardly off to the side. I'm sorry you had to see all that. It's not how I expected it would have happened when the time came. But since it's the topic of the day, Emma Teresa, I gotta go back in there and put that U in there. I don't think I can change it. Oh well. And now that I'm looking at it and I forgot, oh, I did not put the U in there. I misspelled my own name with amateur, and yeah. Emma Teresa, is there anything you would like to ask us? She didn't say us, but still. You deserve to know after all. Lee patted your back and gave you a supportive look. Option. I want to know. No, I don't want to hear. Not right now. You could even ask. Oh, you couldn't even ask. No, because that's not what we're here for. That's perfectly fine.
I understand.
You can always ask later if you ever change your mind. You smiled at them gratefully. It was nice to know they wanted to be open with you about the topic, even if it wasn't a talk you wanted to have. Now, no one seemed to have any answers after that. Option. You went up to your room. You needed to stay here with your mom. You wanted to go out to the house, huh? You wanted to get out of the house. You wanted to see Elizabeth. How should we feel at this point? Cause now it's just a personal project I wanted to do with Lee, so now that all of this is happening, it's like, do I talk to the moms? Comfort the mom, comfort Elizabeth, push me and leave Lee in an awkward situation. So, give Elizabeth time or talk with the moms. With situations like that, I'm not sure what to do. I would have went to my room. Yeah, let's go to our room for now. If this is the end, I'm gonna rewind. You slowly walk past your mom and headed to the stairs. Your mind racing from the conversation. You told Lee you wanted to be alone. You wanted Lee to be with you right now. I mean, she's still here, so we're gonna do that. Lee nodded without a word. There we go. I thought it was gonna end, cause I gotta be careful sometimes, cause I don't want it to end sometimes. When safely behind your closed bedroom door, you let out a heavy breath before heading over to take a seat on your bed. Lee watched you from where she sat on your desk chair and gave a sad sigh in commiseration in response, whatever. You guess she didn't really know what she could do to help, but was still trying to be supportive in any way she could. So what do you want to do? Can I help? Option. There's nothing you can do. I don't want to do anything. Just thanks for being here. You said nothing. Do you think of me as family? Who cares about that question? We're coming to the end. Yeah. I'm happy that she's there. She faced over and sat next to you on the bed, and you sat quietly together as time passed. A sudden knock drew your attention, causing you to sit up straight. When you realized it wasn't coming from the door, but the window, your head snapped towards it. Lee did the same, looking a little uncertain if she should be worried by this development or not. You didn't even have to question who it was. There was only one person who would come tapping at your window, especially at night. I know too. You moved closer and looked out. Sure enough, seeing the familiar head of green hair on the other side of the glass. In only a moment, you had the window unlatched and in only a moment, you had the window unlatched and open for him to enter. Cole pulled himself in through the window awkwardly, groaning before he stood straight in your room and dusted himself off. Lee tried not to let the display break the seriousness of the situation for her. Cole, what are you doing here? When he saw you, he seemed worried, and he ran a hand through his hair before speaking. I came to the front door. I wanted to just come by to visit, but your mom told me they didn't know if you should be bothered right now, that I should come back later. I know they wouldn't have said it like if you were working on some school stuff or whatever, so I got worried. I thought something bad happened. And then you climbed up the side of my house. He smiled, feeling repentant for disregarding your mom's ruling. How else was I supposed to get in? You couldn't quite believe he had really shown up for you like this. But then again, you shouldn't have been surprised. He was always there for you.
Okay?
Well, what happened? Cole pulled your desk chair next to your bed and sat down, his long legs bent in front of him. You fidgeted a little with your bed cover, not quite knowing what to say, but he was willing to wait. Option. There's a lot going on right now. It's nothing. You didn't speak to him. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you're here. The first one is true. We're just grateful you're there, but now that they're both there, it's like, yeah, we can talk about it. Cole looked at you in confusion, his eyebrows dipping. What is it? Can you explain everything to me? You nodded softly before taking in a heavy breath and launching into the story. Cole sat quietly and listened attentively, nodding every now and then or taking in a sharp inhale. Silence settled between you as Cole sat quietly for a moment, contemplating everything you had said. When he finally spoke, his voice was quiet, drifting through the night towards you. I'm Teresa.
I'm so sorry.
About what's happening with Elizabeth, your parents, your family, everything. He stood suddenly, and you got the impression he was struggling to find more to say. Elizabeth and I haven't ever been super close, but I don't think she want her family to break up or drift apart, even if she complains about it sometimes. He smiled at you a little, and you could tell he was trying to be comforting. Weirdly, and your moms definitely don't. It doesn't matter if you're not blood related, you're definitely family. I can see that, and I hope you can too. Of course. Options. Thank you, Cole. You cried sadly. You cried in relief. You still felt unsure about it all. We're gonna say thank you. His words had made you feel better, and you knew it was true. You love your family. Elizabeth cared about it too. She was just hurt. Your cousin tried not to interrupt your explanation or Cole's responses to it. When opportunity arose, she made it clear she shared the same sentiment. A knock on the door made you look up. Though before you could even move, it swung open and Elizabeth stood in your door frame. She walked closer and you didn't quite know what to do or what she was planning on saying. Oh, okay. I feel like we're doing okay. We're feeling great. She doesn't seem angry. She just wanted to talk to somebody. I'm gonna get a drink of water first. I forget when I talk. This is a lot. Alright. Would you mind going? I want to talk to just Emma Teresa. You can come back. It's not gonna be forever or anything. Cole seemed equal parts. Okay, never mind. I gotta revive all that because sentence structures. It's just me. It's not the game. It's me. Cole seemed equal parts concerned and skeptical. Leaving now wasn't a concept that thrilled him. Lee wasn't exactly jumping to go, so she checked with you quietly. What do you think? Since you want to talk, first of all, option. You can't act that. You nodded your head in agreement. I want to talk to you too. You got a nod. So if it was a fight, it would have been seen, but it's not. Nah, I don't think that's the case either. I don't want to keep thinking like that. If she wanted to talk to you in private, it was obviously about something important. You waited until the two of you were alone before fixing her with a inquisitive look, I guess. Elizabeth folded her arms, looking you over. Did Mom tell you about your parents too? Option, I didn't want to know. I don't want to talk about it. I didn't want to know. Elizabeth nodded in understanding, her face solemn. Why didn't you want to talk to me? Why did you want to talk to me? Elizabeth raised an eyebrow at the question, as though the answer should be obvious. I was worried about you. I was the one who brought it up, but I made you deal with whatever was left when I was gone. She's considerate. That's cool. She sighed, glancing upwards for a moment before settling on you once more. I wanted to ask you what happened without anyone breathing down our necks. Option. That was pretty crappy of you to just bail. I'm amazed you noticed that. Oh my goodness, English. And my itchy nose. Revise. That was pretty crappy of you to just bail. I'm amazed you noticed that was unkind. Thank you for thinking of me. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you. You were quietly surprised at her admission. Well, to be honest, just rather say thank you because she thought about you. At that point, that was better than just realizing that whatever happened, and you just left it in the air for anybody to deal with. Kind of like what I had to deal with, I think yesterday, but that's not a personal matter. I can let it go now. As you get older, that stuff just drains you, and it's time to just let it go. If it hurts you too much, at that point, if no one listens, and it's still there, to me, my problem can drift sometimes, so I can't hold a grudge as strong as I think I used to. But if it was really, really bad, and someone left the side effects to me, and they can ask me something, yeah, I'll be angry. No, I won't be angry. I'll be upset because you came to me first and then left me with an attitude. So, as time went on, I didn't take it to heart because what's the point anymore? They figured out their problem. It just sucked that that's one of the side effects when you talk to certain people who I guess don't register that they disregard their own problems to other people too lightly. And I'm left with the thoughts and the feelings. But I let it go after some time because at the end of the day they gotta deal with whatever that is. But it can just switch up. Meanwhile, I gotta take a breather. She stuck her nose up a little at that, but her smile was soft. I'm okay, Elizabeth. It didn't upset me. How are you allowed to be that mature? Same here for you. The lightning spirits in her were the light spirits in her were quickly gone as she slipped back into a scowl. You have to be born in the U.S. to become a president. What? You had never heard of that dream of hers before. She noticed your bafflement and continued. I get I was never gonna be president, but it just feels weird. Having stuff taken away, not even getting a chance at it. Yeah, I know that. Know that experience. I don't like having to know that when I was born, I was gonna have a completely different life. So different, I can't even think about what it looked like in my head. I could have spoken another language, lived away from everything I've ever seen here. Had someone else as my sibling. And then my parents died, and I was adopted, and the life I got became a totally new thing forever. I can't go back to what it was, even if I wanted to. A heaviness settled between you and the person who became your sister. Options. I feel like that too. You knew exactly how she felt. I don't really understand. Let's just say we know exactly how she feels, because at some point, I already knew something was off. But it's like growing up and accepting everything that's already around you. That's kind of like people adapting to a life that they had no control over, but it was good. It was a confusing feeling to have lived one way for as long as you can remember, but not having it be what was originally yours. Elizabeth watched you seriously. She was still trying to make sense of this to you and herself. I don't know why today was the day. Nothing came up to make me ask the question. It was just something I had in my head for a while. When it was just me and Mom's in the living room, I just kind of said it. Finally, and there you go. She shifted from one foot to another, relaxing her stance for a bit. Just a bit. She also spoke more gently. Learning about them and what happened doesn't change how I feel about our family, Emma Teresa. She smirked, fixing you with her sharp eyes. I already figured a long time ago that moms weren't our biological parents. That wasn't news. Kind of a duh. None of them looked like they wanted to carry children, or if they wanted to, but whatever the case may be, whatever their history is. Option. Technically, one of them could have been related to you. You kept listening to Elizabeth. It really doesn't change anything. No, it doesn't, so I wouldn't choose that. I'm just gonna keep listening to her. Nothing about the family I was first born in would have made me decide that this wasn't my family anyway. If you had hoped you'd be free of my big sisterly status. Don't think you're so lucky. Ha 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 ha. Whatever, Elizabeth. She bumped her shoulder against yours playfully, her lips tilted at the corners.
You'll always be my little sister.
Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Option. You smiled softly at her. You jokingly groaned at the at the prospect. You bumped her back. You hugged her. Hug! It took a few seconds, but she gave you a quick squeeze in return. Option. You'll always be my family too. I think I'm already lucky. You took in the moment quietly. I'm gonna say, I think I'm really lucky. Chuckling, she seemed pleased with how the conversation has gone in the end. We should probably head downstairs and make sure moms are okay. It's been a long day for everybody. You gave her a nod. Down we go. You meet up with Lee and Cole just outside the room and made the short trip to the lower floor of your home together. The familiarity of it all felt nice. When you stepped into the living room, you found your mom quietly sitting together at the kitchen table. They both got to their feet when they noticed the arrival, and Ma gave you a careful smile. It seemed they were too concerned to really register that Cole was inexplicably here now, despite being turned down at the door early. Here. We're so glad to see you. Option. Hi. I'm sorry for walking away before. Everything is alright. You said nothing. Everything is alright. That's wonderful, sweetheart. Really wonderful. Yas. Ma then came over and wrapped her arms around you and Elizabeth, giving you a tight hug. It didn't take long for Mom to join in, putting her arms around the both of you.
Love you.
Yeah, Elizabeth said no. This is no. This is uncool. We really wouldn't have asked for better kiddos. We love you. More than you could ever say. Moms! Oh, she did it. My bad. Option. You smiled at their comfort. You were so glad your moms were straight. Alright. It was alright. You're smushing me. Glad that it was alright. I love you too. You let them hug you for as long as they needed, and it was a nice moment shared between you. They both pulled back eventually and grinned at two of you, and you knew then that you had each other, and you always would. Well now, since we're all here, how about we do something together as a family? That sounds like an exciting idea. We should have some fun before the night's over.
Totally.
I love the sound of that. Yeah, okay. Why not? You hid the smile that threatened to tilt your lips. Knowing that Elizabeth must have been in a good mood if she hadn't even teased Cole for being part of it. And no matter what she could have said about it, you wanted him to be there. Yay! Okay, now I'm thinking about it. I'm just gonna do one episode. I usually don't do that. But after noticing today that I may or may not have the vocal cords for it, I'm just gonna do this recording and do the other one whenever, because I got nothing but time. Okay, and no matter, yeah, I think I read it already. Yeah. The two of you are practically growing up together over the past 5 years. Hold up. The two of you have practically grown up together over the past 5 years. Yeah. Who's got a suggestion? It should be something we can do here in the house and everyone in the same room. You suddenly remembered the show you and Lee had been working on earlier. Yep, here it is. Option: maybe we can do our show. Maybe we can do our show? You were bummed you never got to do it after all of that. You weren't so keen on that show. You weren't so keen on that now, after what had happened. Nah, this is a good time.
Oh?
A show? This is the first time we're hearing of this. I'm intrigued.
Wonderful.
It would be amazing if you put it on for us to watch. Oh yeah, I need to see what you cooked up. That'd be cool. You smiled at Lee. You returned the gesture while bouncing on her heels in excitement. Take some seats and we'll get everything together. Your mom collected the chairs from around the dining table, and set them in a row in the living room where there was enough space for the show. While they did that, you and Lee quickly gathered the supplies you needed and rehashed the plan one last time. You listened through the song you had chosen one last time. You then made sure to grab your bicycle helmet and knee pads from your bedroom and strap them on. When the two of you returned to the living room, everyone was sitting and chatting amongst themselves while they waited. The group quieted down when you and Lee stood in front of them on your makeshift stage. Lee was buzzing quietly with excitement beside you. Option: you felt nervous all of a sudden. You were pumped for the show. You were unsure how to feel. You were pumped for the show. Just the time you and Lee had put into practicing was worth it. You were ready to go. Okay, so welcome to our show. We only came up with it today, but we promise it'll be good. Option: you stayed quiet. Thank you for being here tonight. No refunds. You're gonna be really impressed. Yeah. No refunds. Laughter rippled through the mini audience. Then you nodded at Lee that you were ready to begin. Lee took a deep breath, waited the few beats it took to get into the song, and started singing. You were part of the song, joined in. Your part of the song joined in just a few moments later, and you smiled at each other as you sang together. You performed your stunts to the sound of gasps and applause from the audience. When the performance was over, Lee took your hand in hers, and the two of you bowed deeply together. Everyone gave you a round of applause and cheered for an encore. When you straightened yourself up, and you were happy to see that even Elizabeth was clapping for you. Bravo! Bravo!
Good job.
You are so talented. Your family rose from their seats and came over to congratulate you more directly. You were beaming from ear to ear. Cove was the first one to approach, stepping up to you and Lee with a smile on his face.
Nice.
Nice job. Aww. Thank you. You're a really great singer, Emma Teresa. It was cool. Thank you. That was the first option. Option. Thanks. That was pretty good, huh? You blushed and said nothing. Luckily, we had a crowd who's easily impressed. That cockiness. We ain't doing that. I'm not doing that openly, because then our cousin will know. So, I'm gonna say, feel pretty good, huh? And you're humble, too. You laughed together, feeling as light as a feather. Light as a feather. Your parents gushed about how great everything was and thanked you for sharing it with them. Elizabeth was complimentary in her own way, although she did describe the show as cute, which you knew she meant as kind of Kitty. You laughed it off, however, and were just happy that everyone had a nice time. In that moment, you couldn't have been more pleased to be a part of the family you had. Aww. Okay, now that I'm looking at this, no, we're gonna do two, like I did always. Yes, I said something about my intro earlier, but at this point, I needed to start reading again. I mean, I was reading back and forth, but it feels great to just do it again. So, drinking water. And to be honest with everyone, while I can't show it, I have been playing games off camera since I had no internet, and I'm just like, wait a minute, I could have been doing this all along? All these distractions, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, now I've been lacking. This is not good. This is not good at all. So, yes, I've been doing it off camera, but now I registered. I am so unhealthy. But with this, I can continue. So now we're gonna go to birthday. Cause whose birthday is it? I don't know. We're gonna have a birthday, so let's get into the show. Alright. It was a pleasant afternoon. The sun shone brightly, and the breeze tugged slightly at the balloon strung around the park. You and Cole had just been dropped off at Miranda Eckert's birthday party, whoever that is. You didn't really know Miranda. Last year was the first time you had a class with her, and everyone at school knew her as quiet. The shy girl stuck to her own friends group like glue. Makes sense. It had been a surprise that she was having such a big party. You look around the expansive park. A spacious recreation center in the next town over, and notice a bouncy castle. Miranda had a bit of a reputation for not caring if she acted mature like other teens sometimes did. It made a certain amount of sense that her party would match that. Oh, that sucked. Options. You thought Miranda was sweet. You thought Miranda was weird. You didn't have any opinion on a Miranda yet. You wanted to get to know Miranda better. Yeah, if we're gonna be here and it's for a birthday party, I would at least want to say hi or get to know her. I can imagine if it was a Miranda and it was a dude, but it's like, yeah, I can say I don't have an opinion because I would want to get to know her. Let me be honest. As time go on, when I started meeting my classmates, the thought never occurred to me to want to get to know them better because I lacked that in getting to know people because I never had an introduction or a sit down of knowing how to get to know people. So I guess that's why I don't have best friends. I never knew how to socialize to them. So yeah, that's why I have one friend, and my best friend is clearly my sister. Some will see that as that's good enough. But it's like, my sister has a best friend, and my sister is my best friend. So at some point, I'm her best friend, but I don't have a best friend besides her. So I am terrible at talking to people even to this day. Yeah. I mean, I'm not terrible. I'm getting better with working so much and getting to know people. I think that's why I still want a job, because this is just how it is for me. I'm not even thinking about the class that I took to try and get to know people. It's the fact that I need to talk more now. But the time that I wanted to talk, all I did was break down when it's a bad situation, or it's one where nobody understood me and yet they just wanted peace only. Like, you want peace, but you don't want something to be settled or to be solved to please your aura or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened this week to me. But It's 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 over actually. That's the first time I can say that now because other time it would just stay in the air. Cause I already knew. So, So we're gonna get back to this and just say I don't have an opinion on her yet because it's actually true right now as I'm talking. I don't have an opinion. Miranda was a stranger for the most part. What were you supposed to think of a person you didn't know? True. You haven't had a choice in coming here today. Your mom insisted on it after you got the invitation, as did Cole's mom and dad. So both you and he were driven over to the next town with presents in tow. All the parents had been pretty firm about going to a birthday if you've been invited. Options: you agreed it was best to attend. You wondered if it was an adult thing. You were happy to be here. You wish you were somewhere else. You felt out of place. You were willing to give it a chance. Yeah, that's really it. I was willing to give it a chance. You had just arrived at the party after all. You couldn't see the future. It could turn out to be fun or it could be a disaster. You would wait and see. Cole made a small noise which caught your attention. He looked around, scanning the area. He fidgeted with his gift in hand. Any idea what we're supposed to do with these? You looked at your own presents, and then toward the seated area. There was a table filled with snacks and drink supplies for various party games. Past all that, you spotted the table in the back that seemed to have a truckload of gifts. You pointed it out to Cole. Let's drop the present off over there. Cole shrugged. He didn't look interested in the subject, even if you had just answered his question. Alright. He moved forward and headed for the gift table. You followed with your present in hand. You walked past groups of people. Classmates in semicircles broke up into the casual friends group, chatted away. You or maybe Cole received the occasional greeting or friendly nod. However, as you passed by even more people that you had never seen before, you became aware there were more strangers here than that. It was more crowded than you expected. Miranda Eckert, the quiet girl, was hosting the most populated birthday party you had been to in a long time. Does her parents have connection? You looked at the new faces and thought you saw something of Miranda in them. Cousins, nieces, or nephews maybe. Parties could be a big deal in her family. The both of you reached the table. You set your gift down in an empty space, brushing some confetti aside, and Cole placed his gently next to it. He looked at the present thoughtfully. Hey. What did you get her? Before you had a chance to answer, Cole opened his mouth again and tapped his gift. I found this sparkly backpack. I figured she could use it for school or a trip or something. Your mom had taken you out shopping the other day. You searched through the store and ultimately... So we just gonna pick, because at this point I usually don't have a gift because I only been invited to family parties and we usually just eat and play or whatever. Option: you picked out a stuffed animal. You grabbed a necklace and bracelet set. You have found a light-hearted adventure book. That sounds like me if I still was into books like that. You chose a yarn craft kit that made a toy. Okay, you let your mom pick. Your mom didn't appreciate what you had picked and chose something else. What could I possibly have chosen? Actually, I'm not rude, so I guess that... Now I'm gonna pick this because I don't know. sure you've been joking with your suggestions, but that didn't matter. Instead, you got a short lecture, and Mom grabbed a cute-looking stuffed animal. So she was just gonna get that anyway. Even though you wish that your parents had let you dare to get something Miranda would really remember, the plush udder wasn't bad. You described it to Cole briefly and he had no objections. Not a bad idea, yeah. But I don't know much about gifts. That's okay. You both let that sit between you. Eventually you nodded. Yeah, I get it. Without the direction of needing to put stuff away, the two of you weren't sure what to do next. You felt a little awkward and Cole shrunk in on himself as he looked around. There were more guests heading to the present table, so you turned away and wandered over to a nearby tree where you wouldn't be in the way. From there, you both inspected the area and planned the next step. You were glad that Cole had been invited too. At least you had his company in this unfamiliar place. You watched him and he gave you a nervous grin. It assured you a little and you smiled back. What's next? Cole did not appreciate being put on the spot. He was just as unsure as you were. Birthday party stuff? It didn't seem to be time for cake. What with people still arriving, nothing else seemed to be organized yet, either. He noticed that himself and tried again. We could find Miranda. That was an idea. It made sense to greet the birthday girl. Okay, we could say hello. Wish her a happy birthday. Ask her what she wants people to do. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. With that point, it was decided. The Miranda hunt had begun. You wandered around anytime you saw something. English. You wandered around anytime you saw someone with Miranda's hair color. You got a little closer. But more than once, it turned out not to exactly be her. Hey, look. Finally, we pointed over to the real Miranda. She smiled slightly when you both approached her, approached but ducked her head. She seemed a little overwhelmed with being the center of attention today. Oh, it's you. I don't know you, but hey, how you doing? Happy birthday. Hi, Cole. Hi, Emma Teresa. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I'm really glad you could come.
Yay. You all stood awkwardly. Miranda did seem genuinely happy, but there was still a distance between you. So, are people just supposed to stand around?
Well, you can talk to people if you want. There are games that are gonna start soon.
Cool. And the bounce house should open later if you feel like jumping. Then after that, it's cake and present time. We'll have ice cream too. After that is when people will start going home. I hope that's okay with you guys. Cole nodded. He seemed a little more confident about the situation now. Thanks for letting us know. You grinned at her and she nodded back. Miranda waited there and you became hyper aware of the silence forming. Okay, girl look creepy now. Anyway, you heard a shout for a Randy and Miranda brightened up a total 180 with how stiff she had been with you.
I gotta talk to some more people. Bye.
Bye. The birthday girl ran off to her friend, leaving you and Cole with at least a little more idea of what to expect. You both glanced at each other wordlessly. All that was left now was finding something to fill time until the activities began. Options: you try to chat with the people around. You just talk with Cole. You found a quiet spot to sit. You just stood around where you were. Well, this is not prom, so we're not gonna go for this option. We tried to talk, but what was there to talk about? I mean, we can try it again, but maybe around a quiet spot to sit. You tried to chat with the people around. Actually, that's an awkward situation too, trying to talk to people and you have no idea what's going on. So, maybe isolating yourself was okay. We'll be okay. We'll be alright. You found a quiet spot to sit. Cole followed you to the edge of the party. He pointed out a bench near a tree and you both sat down. It was far enough away from the crowd that it was peaceful as long as you blocked out the sound of kids shrieking. Suddenly a loud voice boomed over the crowd. The constant buzz of conversation dropped as soon as the adults, maybe Miranda's dad, asked the kids to gather around because it was game time. I wonder what's gonna happen. Option. You shrugged. You scanned the area to make a guess. You made a joke about something that wasn't going to happen. Maybe. We're gonna play high stakes poker. It's obvious. Obvious, huh? Look at the crowd. Most of the guests were teenagers around your age, but there were also quite a few adults and some younger kids. Cole nodded sagely at a group of little kids. Yeah, these are high rollers. The adults announced that the children under 10 had the first turn of the bounce house. For everyone else, it was time to play pin the tail on the donkey. Oh boy. Cole raised his eyebrows. He was surprised for sure. Options. You were excited. You thought it was kind of silly. You were a little weirded out. You were fine with the game. You didn't know how this would go. People still do that? Because we've never done that. So I'm going to go with... You're fine. I'm fine with it because I never done it. You didn't have anything against pin the tail on a donkey. It would probably turn out okay. You casually stepped up to join the line. The donkey in question was a cartoony poster with big eyes that looked more like ping pong balls. It was positioned a few feet above the ground on a tree trunk. The teen who arrived first was blindfolded and then spun around. He was nudged to the side away from the other kids so he wouldn't stick someone with the tail instead. Unfortunately for him, he placed the tail on the donkey's head like some kind of bizarre earring. He wouldn't be winning that far from the target. Okay. Gotta move my screen a little bit. There we go. The next opponent did far better by landing it on the donkey's back. The spectators applauded politely and the line moved up. More teams tried their hand at it. Some got closer than others, but no one had gotten it perfect yet. Soon it was Cole's turn. He was blindfolded and spun just like the others. At this point, it was a close match, and everyone was watching with bated breath. Cole approached the donkey and stuck the tail on without any hesitation. Cole stood back and removed his blindfold, cheering when he saw how close he was. He turned his head over his shoulders and grinned at you. Your turn. Alright, option. You shook your head and stepped out of line. You took your turn. We took our turn. With the blindfold on the bright part became utterly dark. As you were spun around, the sounds around you seemed to get louder. At least you could tell the direction of the bounce house from the shrieks of the younger children. You stopped spinning and stepped forward, tail in hand. It was time to give it a stab. Option. You placed it directly in front of you. You placed it on the right. You placed it on to the left. You reached and placed it up. You bent and placed it downward. So it's just wherever you place it, it's okay. When I pinned the tail on the donkey, I don't know if it's the same image where the butt is to the left and the face is to the right, or the head is to the right. No, the head is to the left and the butt is to the right. So this is a guessing game. I'm gonna place it directly in front of me and see how that goes. You press the tail into the target and step back. You took your blindfold off to check your result. People cheered from behind. You had indeed pinned the tail on the donkey, right where donkeys preferred their tails to be. Cool. You beamed at your accomplishment and felt a surge of pride. It was perfect. Yes. You looked back at the crowd behind you and your eyes met Cove. He was impressed. You even got a small thumbs up. Alright. A few more kids took their turn. One girl managed to somehow pin the tail on the opposite side of the tree. You were pretty sure it had to be on purpose. Why? Anyway, with the line empty, the game was finally over. The adults running things started to inspect the donkey. At this point, the sign was more tails than donkeys. True. However, you were the undeniable winner. No one could get closer than perfect. After your name was announced, everyone cheered and clapped for you once more. You came up to the front and the man gave you a handful of candy as a prize of the victory. Thank you. As you shoved the candy into your pocket, Cove walked up to you. You did good. Option. You were humbled about it. You felt bashful over winning. You revealed the win. Humble. I was humble. I'm not amazed. It was probably luck. Maybe you'll win next time. You got really close. He shook his head with a rueful smile. Thank you, amateurista. But it's alright. That was your win. Option. You offered to share the candy with Cole. You kept the prize to yourself. Share. Do you want some? His sparkling eyes told you yes. You held out a lollipop and Cove accepted it carefully. It was a mystery flavor, so you had no idea if he liked it or not. He unwrapped the treat and it was a swirl of pale blue and translucent green. Cole gave it a tiny lick. What did it taste like? Your victory and berries, I think. You both laughed at that, and you gave him more candies. An older teen walked up, tall enough to tower over you and Cole. You felt a little intimidated by his stern-faced teenager. English. You felt a little intimidated by this stern-faced teenager until she started to speak. Her voice was low but friendlier than her tougher frown would suggest. Hi, I'm handing out party favors. Do you want one? What are party favors? She showed you party hats. She insisted they were the key to a true party mood. She had two options, either a colorful headband with two tiny party hats arranged almost like ears, or a tiara with a star on it. They were both very festive. I'll take the ear.
It's okay.
No thanks. You knew the teen hadn't exactly glared at him. Her default facial expression just seemed grim. Options. You wanted one of the headbands. You picked out a crown. You didn't want one. I'm gonna go with the headband. Option. You pointed to a blue hat. You pointed to a pink hat. You pointed to a purple hat. You pointed to a green hat. Green had been growing on me lately. It really has. So, and not just because of coal, but you know, just green has. It has. Yeah. I mean, I like blue. I like blue. But green been growing on me lately. Many would say, no, it's because of him. Like, it's been a while and I still love blue to this day. The teenager handed you the hat with a surprising amount of gusto given. Her expression never changed. She gave you a serious thumbs up for taking it. Option. Then you encouraged Cole to pick one. Then you let her go. Encourage. You held a pink headband that in one hand and a crown in the other. You tried to imagine what you look like. What did it look like on Cole? Oh, I said cold. It's cold. You really should try it. It'd be great. Cole looked back at the hat and then at you. With a sigh, he grabbed hold of one. The teen with the hat clapped as much as she could with all the hats in her hand. The unknown teenager nodded approvingly at you and both English revive. The unknown teenager nodded approvingly at you both and went to pass out hats to more people. Sound like a robot. You put the party hat on your head with a smile and it fit well. It was surprisingly comfortable. It looked good on you. Thank you, Cole. Option. I'm a party animal now. It does look very good on me, thanks. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm a party animal now. Really? Of course. Cole nodded with a thoughtful look on his face. If the party spirit is contained in party hats, does that mean they're haunted? You snorted at the suggestion. You considered the hat on your head. It didn't seem haunted, but maybe that was what it wanted you to think. Cole finally put his own hat on. He was nervous about it, his face uncertain. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Most crowns kind of look like that for men before they transition it to look like for a queen. I don't know about this. I feel kind of silly. Does it look weird? Nah, you look good, bro. Option. You look great, Cole. It's completely perfect. It looks silly. You just giggled. You shrugged. You shook your head no. We're gonna say yes. We're gonna say it looks silly, but not on him. Hey, You told me to do this. After that, the people in charge quickly set up the next game. Teenagers milled about until they were told to find partners. You tried to listen to the rules, straining your ears to listen. That is so me. I am hard at hearing sometimes, but it's like, nah, I can't hear, and I refuse to get closer. So it's time to revive. You tried to listen to the rules, straining your ears to listen to the adults announcing what you were supposed to do. Oh shoot, what'd I do? Okay, partners. Yeah. It was a simple game. One person in a pair would throw candy while the other had to catch it in their mouth. If they caught it, the pair would move on to the next round, where everyone would take a step back and the former catcher would become the thrower. The game would continue, the players getting further and further until one set of partners were the only ones left standing, or everyone lost in a round. About half of the guests had already found partners. They moved last. You noticed Cole had his eyes on you. No duh. He just stared at you expectingly, and you knew what he wanted, and you knew what he was getting at. Neither of you were all that familiar with anyone else here. It'll be the safe choice to pair up. Yes. Option. You agreed to be Cole's partner. I don't want to play. Yes, we do. Let's do it, partner. Yeah. He beamed and you started wondering about your respective candy catching compatibility. Respecting or doubting? I kind of just read through it and didn't think much of it. Okay. 2 rounds of players facing each other form. Cole tilted his head towards them, and he started to head over. Yeah, I don't know why I fumbled with that. Let me turn down the volume for a little bit. I got this thing on loud, so you guys can still hear it, so that's fine. Oh my goodness, so close! Yes. You both lined up directly in front of each other. It took a while to pass out the candy. You were handed a small bag of gummies that smelled strongly fruity. Nope. You noticed Cole took it upon himself to do a taste test of a red one across from you. They're not bad. Option. You should have waited. You try one for yourself. What did it taste like? No, you said not bad, so what's the point? Well, he's gonna be tasting it anyway, so it's fine. Raspberry or cherry. It's a red, so yeah. Confused with strawberry? Maybe. Pomegranate? God dang. It was a mystery. Maybe you get a red one later. And then it was time to begin. Cole's row was set to throw first. He smiled nervously, his eyes wide with a seriousness. You grin and Cole's smile looked more genuine and less filled with tenseness. The game was on. At this point, when y'all hear me pause, I'm swallowing saliva. I'm talking too much. I swallow saliva. Thank you. The adults in charge shouted for the thrower to go. You and Cole were only a couple feet away from each other. With Cole's careful toss, you caught the candy easily. Nice. Like you, most of the other players moved on to the next round. There were few gaps in the road as everyone took a step back. The road was harder with pairs further apart, but not overly so. It could be done if both partners tried. Okay. Option. You did your best as you tossed it. You had fun with it, but still tried. You threw the candy without a care. You made sure it missed. No. You did your best as you tossed. Yeah, good. Oh. You had fun with it, but still tried. Yeah. You grabbed a candy and wanted to do a trick shot. Cole must have noticed something in your expression because he raised an eyebrow. Uh-oh. You threw the blue candy from hand to hand, then high in the air. Very quickly, as it was coming down, you slapped it towards Cole. What the heck? He jerked to the side to catch it. Despite his worry, your shot had landed true. What the heck? Cole laughed with amusement at your toss, or the fact that he had caught it, or possibly both. Yeah, good. Who does that? This felt like she was playing volleyball with the candy, which would be interesting to see. From his face, you knew he was at least excited to get to the next round. Uh-oh, he's serious. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's serious. He's serious. Uh-oh. The next round began, and you took another step back. Cole was even further away now, but he made an okay sign. He was in this to win it. Uh-oh. Around you, the one pack rows of players had thinned out some. You wondered how many rounds everyone had left in them. True. Cole swung his arm and made eye contact with you. You nodded, and the green candy flew towards you. Options: you tried your best to catch it. You casually tried to catch the candy. You refused to have a green candy in your mouth. You did not try to catch it. I'm gonna say casually. You stood still with your mouth open. You had to trust Cole's aim would get there. Get there. You wanted to catch the gummy, but you weren't going to get dramatic about it. Cool. You bit down on the candy, pleased with your catch. It tasted sweet and vaguely like a Slurpee. Yeah, I'm a Teresa. Cole was thrilled. He was entirely invested in the game at this point. Oh, god dang, nah, he ain't smiling no more. Look at him. This is, I don't think I can play this. I can play this game, but I would miss because I have horrible legs. You and Cole were still in the game. You knew this was the final round. Only a few other pairs were still left. Cole was determined to win. You could see it in the clench of his jaw, the careful way he watched you. Option: you were charmed by his attitude. You equally wanted to win. You didn't want to let him down. You thought this was kind of fun. You felt nervous under the pressure. Not me. Charmed by his attitude, or you thought this was kind of fun? Well, one, we didn't usually see him like this, so when I choose this first one, I hope nothing bad happens. You liked having a partner that was so into the game. His determination sparked something in you. Admiration? An answering desire to win? You weren't sure. Just stay in the game and we'll be cool. Cole gave you a firm grin and you prepared to throw. Oh, I'm throwing. Your fingers grabbed an orange gummy from the bag. It felt solid in your grasp, even if your hand was starting to get sticky from touching all the sugary sweets. Cole leaned his face towards you. And bit his knees, ready to catch. Oh yeah, he's ready. The time came. You looked at the candy and then Cole. Option: you tried your best. You threw it casually. You messed up your throw on purpose. No, what the heck? Now we're gonna say our best. The candy flew like a missile straight towards him. Cole almost stumbled towards trying to get it right, but your arm was perfect. He got it into his mouth. Nice. Hey, don't choke, dude. Don't you choke. Don't you choke. Don't you choke. A wide grin spread on his face as Cole victoriously chumped down on the candy. Yes! Along with the cheer, he jumped up in excitement and pumped one arm. A beat passed and then he realized just how loud he'd been. Cole turned red and brought one of his hands to his face. We got it. No, don't be embarrassed. You had fun. You look to your left and then to your right. You see the few remaining pairs walking away, commiserating over their losses. With some shock, you realize that you and Cole were the only ones who made it that round. You won. You watched the moment Cole clicked into the same realization. Nice. His face brightened like sunshine, and he jogged over to close the distance between you. You step closer to meet him halfway. Option. You high-five Cole. You put an arm around Cole. You jump into a hug. You ruffle Cole's hair. You nudge him in a friendly way. You smiled at him. Ruffled his hair. He tried to half-heartedly dodge the ruffle, but you still ended up with your fingers in his top hair. You chuckled at the expression on his face as he tried to smooth down his hair and not laugh. You won this together. You jittery stumped his feet in place in front of you as though he couldn't contain his energy. We did it! And then he wrapped his arms around your neck, pulling you closer into a celebratory side hug. Good he did that. You adjusted the hat that had nearly fallen off throughout the event. Option. Nice catch. Woo! You demolished the competition. We've demolished the competition. We demolished the competition. The game runner strolled over and merely gave you both a bunch more candy on top of letting you keep the gummy bag. It was quite the collection because my hand, his hand, both our hands been in that bag, so it's be wise not to give it back, you know. And then there's a lot of candy. When we gonna eat real food? Cole laughed over just how much candy you both had acquired. Between this game and pin the tail on a donkey, you were swimming in sugar now. Yep. With the candy tossed over, you were going to need something else to do. You didn't have to wait long. You heard someone in the crowd shout that the bounce house was officially open for the older kids. You and Cole shared a look. Cole smiled and you knew he wanted in. You both ran over to the bouncy castle and kicked your shoes off. You crawled into the inflated castle with Cole hot on your heels. There were a couple other teens inside already. You started to get a feel for bouncing. Cole hopped from middle to side and back. Just after you landed from a partially high jump, someone else snuck in. It was the birthday girl herself. Go ahead. Hi, Miranda. Option. Hello. Hi, birthday girl. You wave. You just glanced her way. Hi, birthday girl. Miranda looked happy. She waved both her hands at you with a megawatt grin. What the heck is that? It sounds like I'm struggling to read. Because I am. I hope you're having fun. She hopped around with her hands in front of her like a kangaroo. It was a surprisingly effective way to clear distance in the bounce house. She then jumped high, kicking both her legs out to the side, and touched the tips of her toes with her fingers. So lucky. Wow. Miranda hadn't run out of tricks yet. She jumped a couple more times, gaining height, before doing a backflip and tucked into a ball. She managed to land on her feet, but didn't stick the landing. She tumbled back and fell on her butt. Cole clapped and Miranda inclined her head, almost like a bow. She was back to jumping in no time. You're so good at this. She bounced close enough to the two of you to talk without shouting across the way. Cole's bouncing slowed down to accommodate their conversation.
And we have a trampoline in the backyard.
Nice. Option. You're so lucky, Miranda. That's really cool. I want to do flips too. You nodded along to the conversation. You clapped to her stunt. Miranda giggled a bit and then her eyes sparkled. Hey, I can launch someone if you want. If I jump in front of you, then your bounce will go higher. I found that a little dangerous until I saw people on water doing that, and it was pretty cool. Okay, launch me. Option. Okay, launch me. Not me. I'd rather just watch. You remain silent. Okay, me. Sure. Miranda leaned over to you. Her excitement cleared on her face. Cole watched with interest. She explained more clearly how this was supposed to work. You got ready to bounce on her cue. 3, 2, 1. The moment she came down, you jumped high. The force of her, just as she said, helped launch you up. The air rushed past your face, and then you were coming back down. Your feet hit the bounce house hard enough to help launch Miranda up a little as well. She giggled some more, and the two of you took turns bouncing each other up. Cole clapped or offered suggestions, but it was becoming clear that he wanted a turn too. Miranda invited him to join and tried to synchronize your bounce to launch Cole up super high. The first time resulted in everyone crumbling down in a pile of laughter, but by the fifth attempt, Cole managed to catch some of the serious airtime. Woo! You all had fun bouncing around. You swirled. Miranda did stunt. Cole futilely tried to touch the highest tip in the castle's ceiling. Okay. You and Cole chatted to Miranda more than you ever had at school. She truly was the queen of this bouncy castle. When someone did something cool, everyone would cheer. If you fell, the other would help you up. Cool. Eventually, more people wanted to take turns in the bounce house, so you and Cole left. As you slipped on your shoes, you saw Miranda get drawn into conversations with a group of adults. She would talk to them for a while. You and Cole decided to take a break and hydrate. You went to the party table and grabbed some ice water. Cole handed you a party noise maker he picked up from the same table. He blew in his and it made a funny sound when it unrolled. Cole downed his drink in a couple of gups. What the heck is gaps? Anyway, he had gotten pretty into bouncing after all. That seemed funny, but okay. You were still sipping on your water when Cole blew on his noisemaker again. Then again, and again. It was almost a tune. You don't recognize any particular melody, but a noisemaker also isn't an instrument. The noise cut through the hum of the other party guests, loud and noticeable. Option: you asked Cole to stop. No, why would I do that? You started blowing on your own noisemaker. You blew your noisemaker back at Cole. You were amused by Cole's antics. Yeah. You put your noisemaker up to your lips and started making your own noise. Cole turned to face you and blew the paper of his noisemaker at you. It was a hair's breadth away from touching you. Okay, whatever that means.
Oh great, you people again.
Oh, I know exactly who this is. I know exactly who that is. Ugh. I didn't care to remember his name, but I know exactly who he looked like. He's a bold cut boy. Someone vaguely familiar shouted, and you snap your head to the side. Cole's noisemaker dropped from his mouth. The mean boy, yep. The speaker stepped up, and there was no doubt. It was Jeremy! That mean boy you met. English. It was Jeremy. That mean boy you met at the start of summer. Oh no, Cole shriveling. Options. Before I give the options, he better not start no mess. He better not start no prob, because I still remember the last time I said something to him, and it was funny. I don't remember what I said exactly, but I know it looked like I was ready to throw down with this kid. Or was that after I turned the camera off and went adventuring? Yeah, I think it was the adventure part. Anyway, option. You groan at the sight of him. Oh, hey, it's the bowl cut kid. Yeah. You felt very uncomfortable and didn't know what to do. Nope, that ain't me. You instantly got angry at his presence. You tried to ignore Jeremy being there. You tried being polite. Well, I'm just starting to know Miranda. So her hearing me say bowl cut boy, unless she know this kid, I'm just gonna be polite for now because it's been a while since we've seen Jeremy, and I need a refresher of how stank his attitude is. So I'm just gonna try and be polite. Hi, how are you? Your greeting went unknowledgeable, and Jeremy's scowl didn't change. Oh, god dang, you still short? Did you not have a growth spurt? God dang, not the green I want. Or was Cole supposed to be like this at some point? Whatever. Why are you here? Cole's tone defensive. You watch Jeremy's face turn slack, as if Cole's question was the idiocy above all idiocies. Didn't I already explain this? I'm sorry, I paused. I'm looking around like, hold on, let me make sure that's what I read. I don't think you did. Your presence was stank. Just saying. He hadn't, so both of you and Cole exchanged a look. That's exactly what I did. Do you have memory loss, or are you really that stupid? Seriously. Okay. Okay, now you're starting to get on my nerve. And I was peaceful today. I was enjoying my day before you came here. My parents brought me. Apparently, I couldn't just stay inside like I wanted. No duh. Your parents are concerned with your no friend zone attitude. No, they insisted that I get out and enjoy the day and have fun on vacation. Blah, blah, blah. He said, enjoy the day and have fun on vacation. Like some people would say, scrub the entire bathroom or listen to an off-key singer for 10 hours. They found a park because I hate the beach. Too bad I also hate parks. Ugh. It's dirty here. They don't know anything. And then they saw this stupid party and decided to bother some adults by asking what was going on. They think maybe we could be included. It's moronic. Okay. Get it now? That's how my parents are. Annoying and embarrassing. Why would anybody want strangers at their birthday? Why can't they ever just leave things alone? He huffled loudly and his eyes shot daggers at some grown-up that presumably were his parents. Option. Hey, that's really awkward. Okay, yeah, that's really awkward. That doesn't sound very bad. And all you can do is complain about it. Sucks to be you. You tried to be friendly and welcome Jeremy to the park. Only this one more time. You didn't bother trying to respond to that mess of a rant. We're going to be friendly. We're gonna be so friendly until he crossed me one more time. Well, you're here now. Maybe you can make the best of it. And maybe you can shut your dumb face. I don't get offended by this really, but it's like, oh, so we're really gonna press buttons today. Okay. Jeremy's eyes slipped away from you to take in the rest of the park for a bit. It was a little awkward. It was possible he didn't know what to do, duh. But then he spoke again.
So dumb.
How can people really go around in those embarrassing party hats? Do they think it's fun or something? How could a human being be so dumb? It's just kind of nice to do party stuff. Jeremy scuffled, unimpressed. The expression on his face was nasty as he spoke. I am not surprised an empty-headed person like you would think that. Okay, you're getting close. You're getting very, very close. Jeremy looked you over, completely dismissive. It's so rude you can't help but feel offended. Oh, I ain't even look at Coldface. Coldface hardened. He seemed more offended than when anyone actually insulting him personally. Just because you don't know how to be happy doesn't mean no one else does. And it's not our fault if you hate everything. It's not okay for you to take it out on Emma Teresa. She isn't doing anything wrong. You are. Jeremy seemed unfazed. He isn't. He's not fazed by Cole's defense and sniffled. Emma Teresa can humiliate herself on her own. She doesn't need you to step in and do it for her. Alright, decision time. Option. You poured your drink on Jeremy. No, don't want to do that. That's not the type of person I am. You push Jeremy. Don't want to start a fight because then we get kicked out. You punch Jeremy in the face. I'm not going to do that because then he'll make it seem like I hurt him. You drowned out his words with your noisemaker. You stood still, shocked. You teared up. No, we ain't doing that. We don't do this no more. I get talked about on a daily. And this is not going to bother me no more. This is not elementary school, middle school, 6th grade and stuff like that. This is not that. I am officially a woman, baby. No, that's not a thing. And let's just say we're going to drown out his words with the noisemaker because these are violence. This is now depending on the drink I would have done it. A bit of water, like, yeah, you need to cool down. You're both doot. You're doot doot doot. It didn't take long for him to piece together that you weren't gonna let him speak without interruption. So he shut his mouth, though, and finally stopped talking. Option. You're a dick. Oh gosh. No. We can do defensive funny things. But anyway, you're a dick. You're ruining someone's birthday. As long as you don't get near Miranda, then it's not a messed up party. I'm gonna find your parents and tell them what's going on. I don't care about that, cause nowadays you can be a snitch, but it's like, still ain't gonna matter. The parents, they're gonna still bring their crazy kid out and say, please forgive him. And you don't know what type of person the type of people the parents are, so you don't want to do that either. Don't say anything like that ever again. You laughed at his reaction. You said nothing. I'd rather just laugh. People were starting to watch what was going down. Your argument wasn't exactly quiet at this point. Why don't you just leave us alone if we're so awful? Jeremy glared even more and
Dumbasses.
Okay. Talking to you is pointless. I'm not gonna say that. He stalked off like the last time you saw him, muttering under his breath. Yep. Now, it would have been interesting if I called him that word, but I'm also like, sometimes you just gotta deal with people like that, and then there's times you don't have to. But now that we know that reaction, I actually want to take this time and rewind. I want to rewind and do this. People were starting to watch what was going down. Your arguments weren't exactly quiet at this point. Oh, that's it?
Dumbasses.
Oh, that was nothing. Oh, whatever. He didn't care regardless. So whatever I said didn't mean anything. Oh well. Wow, we're really going into 2 hours. Oh well, I still love this. But yeah, he stopped off. Okay. So I thought it would be something else, but apparently not. You blew your nose maker after him with a final long Cole sighed in relief after Jeremy was gone. He relaxed, but only for a moment. He noticed just how much attention you'd drawn from the other guests. Luckily, it hadn't gone as long enough to get a real crowd. Yeah. A concerned adult in a blue button-up shirt approached you and asked who that was and if everyone was alright.
Okay.
I'm fine. Cove looked at you cautiously, asking just as much as the adults if you were okay. Everything's fine now. You don't have to worry about us. The concerned adult lingered for a few seconds but nodded and left you alone. The Jeremy fiasco was officially over. Cole rubbed his eyes, clearly ready to put all the nonsense behind him. Then he started laughing. It was a surprise laugh, breaking out of his chest without any actual joy. It was nervous and disbelieving, and all the complex emotions brought about by one meeting with Jeremy. I like to think this will not be the end unless the writers really said, yeah, this kid needed development. I wonder who's gonna do it. But I think this was gonna be the end result anyway for him. Oh well. I can't believe it. He spoke on fits and starts. You swore at him. The look on his face after you started with it was hilarious. Started with the noisemaker? Yeah. Option. He shrugged. He deserved it. You felt a little bad about it? Nope. You were still mad at what happened? Yeah. Do you think it was too much? Nah. It was just right because you didn't get kicked out. Your parents were not called. And Miranda looks like she's still gonna have some fun. Just saying. It's for her. Even if it was for us too. I'm like, her. Think about her. Because she hasn't been a bad influence since her birthday. Because I know some people change when their birthday just pop up because now they're being watched. Gotta be on their best behavior, and then they change when the birthday's over. But this is just let's give it a try moment, a day. Let's give it a try day. Hi, Try Guys. How you doing? Yeah, this is a try day. Yeah. Anyway, you felt a little bad about it. Nope. I wouldn't say I was still mad because at the end of the day, he's ruining the day. Because this was me like yesterday, and I'll stop bringing it up now because that's the side effect for some people. Like they start something, end it because it's not going their way, and then you're left with this stuff. Like someday I won't be feeling like this ever again, or I will, but it just won't be heavy to be like this. Like I won't be this no more. I'm gonna say he deserved it because at least I didn't do anything that would cause trouble. You know, he was causing it, but it's like I was tolerating it. He can't just say things and get away with it. Cove nodded to himself and then continued speaking. I wouldn't want someone to do it to me, but it's not like I can blame you. He was treating us so bad for no reason. I'm pretty sure he'll be okay. I bet it won't even change anything for him. Yeah, you're right. Cove paused and shyly twisted his fingers together. Then, in a quieter voice, he spoke. And if you're bad for doing it, I'm bad too, because I kind of like watching you do it. I'm a Sharita. He enjoyed me standing up for myself and clowning with the best twist of karma for him. He became bashful, barely able to meet your eyes as he seemed shyly. But only because he deserved it. I wouldn't want that to happen to someone out of nowhere or anything. Nice. Options. You felt flattered. You laughed happily over Cole's admission. Yeah. You agreed it was really satisfying. You also felt bashful. You weren't sure how to feel about any of this. Yes, I do. You agreed it was really satisfying. Do you want to tell your moms about Jeremy? I mean, are you gonna say what you did back at him? They probably be nice about it, and maybe they know how to handle someone like him. Cole bit his lips in thought. I'm not gonna tell them anything if you don't. Thanks for asking. Options. You decided to bring it up to your mom later. You wanted to keep this between you and Cole. Like I said, it goes back to the snitching situation, because unless it gets bad, like really, really bad, like this kid really just went over the handles, and then I'll start saying something. But at this point, it's bothering Cole, but it's not bothering me, so it's like that imbalance is, well, first of all, he was bothering us, but I still feel like he only came near us because he's familiar with us. He's terrible at talking to people, but I feel like he's one of those kids I never got a chance to meet, where he knows you from calling your names and such, but he can't understand why we haven't shooed him away. Like, Cole tried. Like, he really did just try. But I feel like he's just gonna come back, continue to. I don't see him show. Well, we can't see. We can't see because it's not a game like I would play normally in Free Roam. Well, not Free Roam, the website, but like you have free roam to walk around. I feel like he's starting to like us, but he's terrible at just telling us. So I'm not gonna tell, because at the end of the day, these are one of those moments where you can grow and look back and just say, yeah, he was one too, but who said we had to alert the adults if it's not too terrible? Because there are chaperones, so if it really get bad, they'll probably tell. Anyway, so I'm going to say keep this between me and Cole. But let's not. I don't think it'll help. It won't. He won't change. Okay, option. You apologize to Cole for making him wear the party hat. Nope, you decided to drop the topic. Nah, he was good in it. Finally, you bent over to pick up the noisemaker that Cole dropped when Jeremy appeared. It might be too dirty to use now, but you didn't want to leave it there. He accepted it slowly when you offered the little favor back to him. Thanks, Emma Teresa. I like how we can be there for each other. It makes me feel better about that kind of stuff when it happens. Yeah. Cole suggested that you should find a seat at one of the tables. It was almost cake time, and he wanted to be prepared. It was a good reminder that the party wasn't over yet. Okay, I guess that's why there's a lot of snacks here. Okay. Oh, I need to see. I see grapes, maybe some bananas, maybe some cherry apple. I don't know what this is, but they look like appetizers. See some drinks, juice, and a birthday cake. I guess. Hold up. Maybe some barbecue too? Like maybe hot dogs? Which I'm cool with. That's actually pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah. There's a free table there. Let's get ready for some cake. You and Cole tried to settle down after the last event. You took seats across from one another at one of the park tables. There were a few attempts to chat, but for the most part, you simply watched the adults run around to set up the cake cutting. There was a minor panic when who you assumed was Miranda's dad apparently forgotten the lighter for the candle. He and another man went through and started asking the other adults for matches or lighters. They're looking for a smoker. They weren't having any luck until the grim-faced teenager who had been passing out party had pulled out a green lighter out of the ice cream cooler. Why the lighter was put in the cooler remained a mystery, but with party hat girls find it was time to get things going again. Miranda sat at the head of the longest table. A large chocolate cake was set in front of her. She lit all the 14 candles with the cooler lighter with a big smile. The adults started singing happy birthday, and the rest of the guests joined in. At the end of the song, Miranda blew out the candle with a dedicated puff. She closed her eyes and saw her silently smile. She closed her eyes and you saw her silently mouth something. Okay, I don't know why I have a difficulty. Maybe it was a birthday wish. Miranda cut her own slice. Then one of the grown-ups took over cutting the cake. Another adult passed around plates of cake slices with a scoop of vanilla ice cream to the guests. Eventually the cake got around to you and Cole. Cole was pleased with the treat in general. The cake looked rich and moist. It smelled quite chocolatey. I'm gonna be honest. My sister's birthday passed, and all I can think about is I am so not into chocolate cakes. Unless it's just out the blue chocolate cake. Like, I have no issue with chocolate cakes, because there are certain members in our family, and not just my mom's boyfriend. He likes chocolate so much, it got to the point where I'm so sick of chocolate cakes now. Cause like, nobody asked my sister what kind of cake does she want. But you know, with her, she'll want to try and accommodate to everyone who may or may not like a certain cake. But I'm also like, in my head, I'm like, it's your birthday. So when I saw the chocolate cake walk through the door, I'm just like, just get it over with. Just get it over with. Put it in the freezer. At least it tastes better that way. And it did. It tastes better in the freezer. But that's still not the only time I would want a chocolate cake, because it got to the point I still just like vanilla. Vanilla is just amazing to me. But enough about that. The chocolate cake just, you know, it's just it. Not my type. Option: you only wanted to eat the ice cream. We only wanted the cake. You wanted both the cake and ice cream. You did not want anything on your plate. But just like my sister's birthday, I'm gonna eat it. I want both. You took a bite of ice cream. The vanilla wasn't bad, but it was a little bland. Not the ones I usually get. The chocolate cake, however, was a rich flavor. Cole then took his fork and started mashing up some of his cake. Yep. When the cake resembled a pile of crumby chunks, he started mixing it into the ice cream. Yep. The melted parts of the ice cream made a kind of chocolate cake soup. Nice. Options: you raise your eyebrows. You told him you do the same thing. Keep my hand right here. You thought it looked gross. I've never done that, but I want to now. You didn't react. Right here. I also like cake that way. Yeah, isn't it good? Though it's better with brownies. You are so right. That's the only time I want chocolate than brownies. As he shoved a bit of his ice cream cake in his mouth, he looked extremely validated. Cole constantly chowed down on his concoction. One advantage of his mix is the ice cream seemed to catch most of the crumbs that could usually fall from eating a cake. Nice. Unlike some of the kids around him, Cole's shirt remained clean. You started eating your dessert in earnest. You enjoyed yourself plenty. Cole suddenly put his fork down on his plate and stared up to the sky with a faraway expression. You checked but didn't see anything intention grabbing. The ice cream is better than those ones in cups. You know, with the little wooden spoon, but I still kind of want that instead. Oh, he's remembering. Nice. You remember what kind he was talking about? Oh yeah, like the ones handed out at the barbecue before the fireworks happened. Yep. Right. Cole smiled nostalgically at the thought. You could picture a younger Cole for a moment with the same look in his eyes. You remember how your mom tried to share with everyone that night. Option: you offered him a bit of your dessert. You asked him if he could have a bit of his dessert. You asked him if you could have a bit of his dessert. You smile about the memory to yourself. Will he accept it this time is the question. Do you want any of mine? Cole raised his eyebrows at your offer. What? Option: you told him you're serious. You laughed along with him. Let's see, then I'll rewind, because I actually like this. Really, Cole? Let's share. Cole shook his head over that. It was clear he thought it was a little silly, but he was willing to go along with it for your sake. Yay! He grabbed your fork and took a bite with an affectionate, soft expression. He couldn't believe you were like this. You smiled. Thanks, Cole. Miranda then started to open her gift. She systematically attacked the mountain of presents like a pro. There you go. She checked for any card and read them loudly before opening a gift. She smiled at every present, including the ones you and Cole got her. You were glad the presents were accepted. It took some time, but eventually Miranda got through all the gifts. She was very sweet and polite throughout it all. The party went until the sun began to set. Oh, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. By that point, most of everything had settled down and people had begun to leave. Any of the guests whose parents had stayed for the party were already gone, except for Miranda's family. Only a few kids still waited for their parents to come get them remained, and you and Cole included. Oh shoot. Miranda's family were cleaning up and as a guest, neither you nor Cole were supposed to help with that. Goddamn. Instead, you both had decided to take it easy in the bouncy castle. It was somewhere out of the way where you could casually wait for your ride. Miranda had also elected to hang out with you. You weren't even bouncing anymore. Cole laid on his side with his back to a wall, and Miranda sat across from him with her legs stretched out. You also made yourself comfortable. It was nice and warm in the little building. It also felt like you had some privacy, which was nice. You could all speak openly here. Thanks for coming. She looked down but continued shyly. It's been really cool to get to hang out with you a little bit. Thanks for letting me come. I didn't think I'd be invited. Aww. Now you are. Option. Thanks from me too, Miranda. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either. I'm so happy I could come. You shrugged. You chose not to speak. I'm not shrugged. I just did it really, so I wasn't lying. I just shrugged. You raised your shoulders and didn't say anything. Miranda just smiled a little more. Did you notice anything happening earlier with some people you don't know showing up? She had to think about it. Oh, she had to think about his question a little. It was apparently that she didn't have any encounter with Jeremy since there wasn't no instant recognition. I heard about something. Some other people were talking to my parent when their kid came and forced them to leave the park, huh? Let me reread this just for a second. Some other parents were talking to parents when their kid came and forced them to leave the park. Why was that? She tilted her head to the side, finding it weird but also not important. Then everyone had cake and ice cream. Cole smiled uncomfortably. That's good. Yeah, he's hoping it wasn't. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that was Jeremy. Never mind, that was Jeremy. He was clearly worried about the Jeremy confrontation. Confrontation could have gotten to her. Luckily, it didn't seem that anyone had overheard or passed along Jeremy's cruel words. Cole rolled over on his back and sighed contently. Miranda seemed confused but wasn't going to push. Okay. Option. You got up and started bouncing again. You laid back and closed your eyes to rest. You changed the subject. You told her about your deal. This This is her birthday. We're just gonna lay back and close our eyes, cause it's looking chill. We don't know her that well. We know her from school, but it's okay. It's really okay. We don't really have to talk for real. The air-filled floors was comfy, and when you listened, you could feel the vibration of the blower keeping the bounce house up. The silence stretched between everyone, and you open your eyes to take a peek at the others. Cove was still relaxing, but Miranda was looking between you two, looking confused. You smiled to yourself and closed your eyes once more. You spent the rest of the time content and dozing until it was time to go home. So she's not used to that, so I guess she likes to talk, so I'll rewind and talk to her. She likes to want to talk. What are you gonna do with all those gifts? It had been a mountain of stuff, Miranda laughed.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to find a way to get them all in my room.
True that. Cole gave a bent smile and made a suggestion. You can carry some of that backpack you got. Some in that backpack that you got. She giggled and clapped her hands with delight. That's true. Y'all continued chatting in a laid-back manner until it was time to go home. Okay, she just wanted to talk. But I usually what the heck do I used to do? Nothing. I usually do nothing. I don't say anything. Cause there wasn't any interesting topic. At that point, that's when I think interest matters. If you want to continue carrying conversation. You already don't know each other. Might as well talk about something everybody knows or wants to get to know. You know? Maybe. At the end of the day, you thought it had been quite the party. And we are done. You know, I really just thought about recording 2 more. Because I don't feel tired. I don't feel fatigued. I don't have a headache. Unlike the other times when I record, I feel so tired. But that's when all the distraction was here, so I feel great. So I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna push it. I'm about to say, let me do 2 more. No, I'm gonna keep it at a steady pace that I am, and just enjoy it. And I like most of the things that I did in the episode, so there won't be a lot of cutting out of stuff, really. So thank you again. Thank you for joining me, and this journey of no internet feels great. See ya!